Thankful Thursday.
Happy Thankful Thursday. We're so excited you're here. Allie, I'm excited that you keep coming into studio this week because the energy is different in the studio.
I seriously have so much fun in studio. I really, really do.
I don't know if it's fun for like production. Kevin might be like,
no, it's fun for them because they laugh. They laugh.
Thumbs up. We're getting thumbs up.
We are getting thumbs up for sure.
Thank you for joining Open Mic, guys, where we always keep it unfiltered, unmulted, and really unapologetic.
All the uns, I guess, maybe.
I'm Michelle Posey.
Who are you? I'm Allie Lejay. Thanks for joining us from all platforms where you're joining us from. Please make sure you like, share, and comment. We would like to know where you're joining us from, where you're watching from, how you feel about the topics that we're talking about, what your insight is, what your opinions are about what we're talking about.
Yes.
We are actually doing this for you. We want to engage with you, and that's the point, right?
Absolutely.
But I do want to say that we mentioned yesterday that our friend James had a stroke and went into surgery. He is actually doing about 90% better.
That's
amazing.
So
we are just so thankful. Praise to Jesus that he is better and on the way to being 100% himself.
Absolutely. James R., we love you. And we're grateful that you're on the road back to recovery. So
and thanks, Miss Giggles and baby Nuka. We love y'all.
That's amazing, guys. We've got a packed show today. We're going to talk about Cracker Barrel not being so cracker after all. I don't know what is going on with that. I love Cracker Barrel.
Are we still doing woke nonsense?
I guess we are. We've also got the wonderful, beautiful Bianca Gracia. She's coming to join us here. So another powerful Latina joining the show. You just refill your coffee now is all I'm going to say to you guys. We're also going to talk about some crooks within the Federal Reserve. Nobody's shocked by this, but I'm shocked that it's actually coming out now, as well as Winsome Sears there in Virginia coming to the defense.
A firebrand.
She is. Don't poke that, Mama Bear.
Absolutely not.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys, we're going to crack open that mic. Here we go.
Stays on, red hat stays on, red hat stays on, red hat stays on. Taking back our freedom, back to where we started. We're wearing our red hat tonight. It takes more than just a feeling. Oh, better be believing, and America's gonna be home.
What do you do when they try to cancel you? MAGA Nation, we cancel proof. My red hat stays on. My red hat stays on. You know I love God, but in Trump I trust. November 5th, you gon' ride with us. Our red hat stays on. Our red hat stays on. It's the mayor MAGA, but the RNC King. 2024, freedom gon' ring. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. I'm still fighting for each one of you. And keep your red hat on.
We are still typing.
not me telling all of my viewers to slide into our comments. You know you want to. Not my DMs, but my comments.
Where is public?
You're bold enough to say it in my DMs. You're bold enough to say it out in person, out loud. I'm just saying.
But
out in person.
Sometimes they're not. And that's okay. Welcome to Open Mic, guys, where we like to bring you all of the current events with a little dose of sweetness because a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. What we're told. All right, guys. So let's break it out right now. Let's talk about the thing that really has a lot of us here, especially in the South, a little kind of disappointed. I thought we were done with the woke nonsense, but apparently one of my favorites, Cracker Barrel, has decided to change their logo. Take a look at this. How dry do you have to go? What is that?
So dry.
That looks like it was done with like
so dry.
Microsoft Word. I don't know. It's really, I don't know. Yeah, look at that.
Whoever developed that should be fired.
What was offensive? They took out the barrel
and the old guy.
And the old guy sitting next to the barrel.
I don't understand.
Oh,
old country store.
Was he the cracker and then that was the barrel? Is that why they're saying that was offensive? That would be offensive to who though?
I don't know. Florida?
I don't know. You guys have to chime in the comments below. Let us know.
I'm confused.
Listen, we've got children being bought and sold. And that's what offends you? Like
I mean, we're actually going to go down the slavery lane, right? Can we talk about how human trafficking is essentially slavery?
It's modern day.
It is slavery. Can we talk about how sex trafficking is modern day slavery? Can we talk about that? Why are we talking about something that happened like 400 years ago?
Yeah,
thousands of years ago that has occurred around the globe for thousands of years, but we're not going to address the actual current slavery that's existing right now, but we're changing logos.
Allie,
for what?
Could it have been anything other than that as the reason why they changed that logo? I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't seen a statement from Cracker Barrel.
I haven't either.
So I don't know what the reasoning is.
They're probably scrambling.
Like, why rebrand? I don't understand. I mean, we did hear that Target CEO was dropping down, because their sales have decreased because of all of their
tuck-friendly bathing suits.
That part, and DEI.
Let me tell you something. That when Target did that with the tuck-friendly bathing suits, I had a personal meltdown because I love the Chip and Joanna Gaines collection that's in Target, and I was like, I'm sorry, I can't. No.
And I love their bathing suits because they actually like fit nice.
The tuck-friendly.
Not the tuck-friendly ones, obviously, because I'm a real woman.
Wait, you can make tuck-friendly bathing suits, but you can't make bathing suits that give a little extra support in certain areas.
Or like extra lift in other areas.
An eraser. Anything? No?
Something.
Guys, keep it tuned here. Well, as soon as if we ever hear a statement from an official statement from Cracker Barrel, a lot of people have made statements, but not really Cracker Barrel. We'll let you know.
Right.
Until then, I'm gonna continue to get their hash brown casserole. It's very yummy.
Their biscuits are bomb too, and I love their store. I really want to know what the reasoning is. Like, to me, it's like trying to remove the Indian from the Indians. It's like trying to remove the black woman who created the syrup.
Aunt Jemima.
Like, how much sense does that make? And Land O'Lakes, it's now just the lake. It's disappointing.
It's very disappointing.
I get rebranding, but rebranding for who? Why?
We have bigger fish to fry.
McDonald's hasn't rebranded. No. I mean, they should probably bring back the Hamburglar because I thought he was kind of funny.
He's really funny. Hamburglar. Moving on, guys. President Trump.
Such a terrible segue. I'm sorry.
Did you know that he's facilitated 6 peace deals in the last, 7 months? Somebody that we love dearly on the show has kind of put it really eloquently into words. We're going to let Byron Donalds tell the story, and we'll discuss it after this.
What are your thoughts on what the senator had to say there?
I mean, this is what I'm talking about. The Democrats don't have any solutions. They had a number of years to try to bring this conflict to a close. They couldn't do that. They didn't even know how to start. All they knew how to do was go to Congress, keep asking for billions and billions of dollars to continue a war effort, which was going nowhere. What Donald Trump's entire mission has been this whole time is having peace, stopping the killing. That's been his focus. And so he's on his way to getting that done. And the Democrats can't even congratulate Donald Trump for even making the attempt to have peace. They can't even do that. They are so sycophantic. They just want Donald Trump to fail for the sake of failure because they think they can do a better job. But we've seen Democrat policy in action. It fails every single time. They have failed America every single time. They have failed other world leaders every single time. And we actually have the possibility of a 7th peace deal in 8 months. Like, that's never happened before, but it's happening under common sense, strong leadership from Donald Trump.
Ooh, exactly. And that's why you want common sense, strong leadership, even at your state level.
Absolutely.
It trickles down to the state level. You get that kind of bold leadership, even in a mayor or a city or county commissioner or school board level, and you lock it in locally. It makes your life a better place.
And someone who has dealt with the kinds of things that Byron Donalds has dealt with as a congressional member of the House, right? Who works on like the national scale and the international scale, I think would bring a very unique dynamic to Florida in order to elevate Florida from where it currently is. Right. Although we have been great because Florida is literally the tip of the spear for the rest of the nation. But I think having him come in possibly as governor to raise us up a little bit because tides, the high tide raises all boats.
All boats, yes.
And I think his expertise and what he's done in Congress will definitely help do that for Florida. So I'm excited for this. I think,
and the idea that he's talking about, he's not afraid to say, listen, where have the Democrats been? You've had complete control over the last 4 years. And if we're honest, because of a coup, you really micromanaged Trump as well the first term. So why haven't you done anything about this? It's just proof that when we talk about the war machine, when you watch the Flynn movie, which you can get at flynnmovie.com, when you watch that and you understand that there is a vested interest in keeping us at battle all the time because people are making money off both sides of it.
And they're really good at it. They have a machine. Like, the reason why the Democrats don't want this peace to happen is because they thrive on division. They thrive on chaos. They thrive on death and danger and criminals. That if you have not been paying attention over the last 8 months, just the last 8 months, forget about the last 10 years, the last 8 months, they have shown you exactly who they are. And when you do not celebrate the wins that America has had because of strong leadership in President Trump and his administration, you obviously don't care about Americans and your constituents, and people need to be primaried.
Absolutely. Oh, I like that. I like that segue.
Mhm.
Guys, you know, if our federal government and the bureaucracies that are created under it, if they did their job, we wouldn't need a DOJ, a Department of Government Efficiency, which I love. DNI Director Tulsi Gabbard, she posted this
She's
on
our Woman
X.
Crush Wednesday.
Women Crush Wednesday. It was yesterday.
I know, but
she says, you know, today she's launching the ODNI 2.0, the first step toward bringing about transformational change. She's talking about cutting the bloat from this bureaucracy, rooting out deep state actors and restoring it to a focused mission.
Wow, saving taxpayers over $700 million a year. Guys,
This is incredible. That's
unconscionable.
leadership, really. That's
Yes.
leadership. That's the ability to hire somebody for a job in a leadership role and say, run with it. And I know that that's something that Trump does really well. He puts the people he trusts in power. This is great. This is what every agency should be doing across not only the federal government, even within your state government. They
Yes.
should be policing themselves, but do it transparently.
And I actually think Florida is the only one that has a DOJ in our state.
We've got them in our
I think
counties
that-
now.
Yeah, in every county.
Just wait till they
almost.
come to school boards.
Oh, I cannot wait. They need to DOJ the school boards.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ah, yes, let's do that.
So we just want to give a shout out to Tulsi Gabbard because
Yes.
she's been walking
you,
out
ma'am.
these things that are not easy. Obviously, it has to be a veteran, a former, former service member in
course.
Tulsi Gabbard.
We
to be
just
able to do
know
this.
how to lead. We know how to lead, and we know how to stand in the gap and make things happen. And that's kind of just what you're taught when you go through the process of becoming a soldier, right? Like
Yeah.
you just if you don't know the answer, it's like I don't know the answers are, but I'll figure it
But
out.
I'm gonna figure it out.
I'll find it.
Kind of like a mom.
You know?
Yeah, kind of like a mom.
Exactly like a mom.
You know,
Exactly.
speaking about those that serve our country, the National Guard, we tip our hats to you and everything that you're doing in DC. But I love seeing Vice President JD Vance come out to Union Station to visit with the National Guardsmen that are in charge of cleaning up our nation's capital. Let's take a quick look and then we'll talk about it.
Rodriguez, how we doing, man? Hey guys, take it easy. How y'all doing? Good to meet you, man. I appreciate you. Good to meet you. Hey, how you doing?
Oh my gosh, do you hear the chants in the background? What are they chanting? What are they protesting in the back
Was
there?
it a protest?
It is, if you real. Yeah.
Oh.
And they're protesting
What? The
clean-
National Guard
cleaning up
what-
the crime.
the crime.
in
Like
DC?
how? Why are you? What exactly are we fighting for? Fighting about what? What?
But this is what
To
we
keep
say.
crime in your street?
This is what we say over and over on this show.
Mhm.
This is one of the reasons why we love the Trump administration and those that serve in it, because they force leftist, Marxist, Leninist, communists to argue the wrong side of an issue by constantly taking the right side of an issue
They're
and really
on the
doing your job.
20%.
They have to
Yeah.
put them on the 20%.
They really are. on the
Make them
20%
argue
range.
for,
Why do you want to keep
criminal
crime in your
legals.
street?
Yeah.
Why? Why do you want to keep crime running rampant in your city? Well, why do you want that? Aren't you worried about people getting carjacked and killed and stolen and molested and
Well,
murdered?
And this is one of the reasons why I'm excited after our break to talk to Bianca, because I
Yes.
know she's been actually working and
Yeah,
living
yeah.
in DC. Be interesting to see what she thinks about that.
We have the most pro-military personnel, not military industrial complex,
Yes.
the most pro-military personnel and family driven administration.
we do.
I mean, we have a Marine who is serving as a vice president and as Senate president, right? Because
Yeah.
he's got dualship, right? In the government. But we also have lots of veterans. I mean, we have Pete Hegseth,
Pete Hegseth.
who is Secretary of Defense. We have, several military prior service members that are serving in the House and in the Senate. It's amazing. And they love
grateful.
our troops and they
Grateful.
love our troops.
So
feeling
it
this.
breaks my
Good.
heart when I have to tell this story because we
I know.
heard the other day, we heard that Kristi Noem from the Department of Homeland Security Director, her information,
Was
personal
leaked.
information was doxxed.
Mm.
I was doxxed in a local state house race, so I know what that's
Mhm.
like. But now take a look at this. Anna Paulina Luna posted this, rep from right here in the state of Florida. She said the Washington Post just doxed sensitive information about the Secretary of Defense. You just mentioned him, Pete
Mhm.
Hegseth, his security detail. The security detail, she's calling on Kash Patel and Dan Bongino to open an official FBI investigation. In this post attempt to take out Trump's life era that we live in, not
Mhm.
once, but twice.
And several other times, there have been several people that have been caught on their way to attempt an assassination.
You're right. That lady that was coming from New York to Washington,
Mhm.
D.C., we reported. This is not journalism. This isn't even funny. This is a crime, and it should be. I'm hoping they treat it as such because it's very dangerous.
Yeah, and I like how Anna Paulina puts it. She says, treason won't hide behind a press badge. What are you doing that you are actually doxing this information? Wall Street Journal. They should be completely obliterated. Like the Washington Post. Sorry.
That's right.
Excuse me. So yes, thank you for the correction. They should not exist anymore.
Yep.
Like that news station article, all of it.
And we've
needs to
seen
go
Trump
away.
just say the word, and a lot of people move from one. Well, not that anybody on the right is really reading the Washington Post, but
No, but
they need to, exactly that. You shouldn't be able to have that
It's
kind of. You shouldn't be able to hide behind your press credentials or what you consider journalistic integrity. You're not. The Secretary of Defense's security detail.
wait.
Yes, ma'am.
So reporter McCabe, who I'm not going to tell you exactly who he is and what he does because that's kind of top secret, but he commented and said, at first I thought it was just stupid that the Washington Post thought the Army could not handle protecting Hegseth. But when I saw at Dan, who's this? Lamothe byline, I realized they were giving assassins a roadmap. The Washington Post should be extremely ashamed of themselves, and everyone should be fired from the top.
Yes.
And how do you approve something like that? Absolutely wild.
And that's just the proof, you guys, that there are. I mean, we've talked about this before on the show, but there are positions within your government, within what they consider the deep state. I guess just the entirety of the government that do not roll over with the turn of a president, with the turn of an election. They are they're 40, 45 years sometimes sitting in their office. They're not supposed to be politically charged, many of these seats, but you can tell. Not only do people within the government still want to lock arms against Trump, but you've still got the media actively working against him. The wonderful thing about this is that I love that the White House really doesn't recognize people like the Washington Post and other former.
I don't even think they have a seat in the press room.
I don't.
But this is crazy. They couldn't get him through the Russia hoax, Obamagate, right? Which is now that's what it's called, Obamagate.
Yes.
They couldn't assassinate him. They couldn't get others to assassinate him. So now they're trying to completely dismantle his entire
It's like
administration.
they're going after the Avengers.
Right. Whoa.
You know what I mean? Think about it.
We are living in a Marvel movie.
We are living in a Marvel movie. Can I pick who I am?
Can I pick one? Who are you?
Well, now I want to think about it. It's kind of a big deal. It's going to come with a whole get up and everything.
I know. It'll be fun.
So we love a good I told you so here on the show. So when we had,
they call us far right, but we're right so far.
When we had James Fishback on our show during Turning Point USA, we had the wonderful chance of interviewing him where he spoke about something he was going to do to come out and really expose what's been going on at the Federal Reserve, including too late Jerome Powell.
Yeah.
But I didn't know some of this exposure included now Trump's demanding the resignation of the Federal Reserve governor. Her name is Lisa Cook, after being criminally referred to the DOJ for mortgage fraud. Now she's somebody that helps determine what rates you pay in your mortgage, but she's being investigated for mortgage fraud. What the shift? Swag. We need to get that. What the shift?
On it.
Yeah. It says she was caught in 2024 by Chris Rufo.
Of course.
Love Chris Rufo.
Chris Rufo caught her.
For plagiarizing her academic research on how popular certain names were in the Black community. But she's a Biden appointee and Jerome Powell loyalist. She's voted with Powell 100% of the time. Again, Powell, too late Powell, who has not lowered interest rates, but he had no problem lowering them before the election when really they shouldn't have been.
Right, to give Biden this boost of, he's helping the American people. He's not.
Not looking out for you and I, guys.
Jerome Powell is definitely working, doing this politically. So
she
does need to be fired. Quit.
Absolutely.
Quit, ma'am.
We do have to go to a short commercial break, but when we come back, we'll have Bianca joining us. So guys, don't go anywhere. 3 strong, opinionated Latina ladies coming your way right after this commercial break.
Gold IRA companies are a dime a dozen, especially in conservative media. We vetted out 34 companies and chose Augusta Precious Metals.
With the lowest across-the-board spreads in the gold IRA industry, Augusta saves Americans thousands of dollars.
They are the only major gold IRA company that has 0 complaints from their customers. 0. None. Augusta Precious Metals does not have commissioned sales reps, which means their goals are aligned with yours.
They were the only gold IRA company that demonstrated integrity and transparency without using gimmicks.
The informative one-on-one web conferences by Augusta Precious Metals answer all of their customers' questions before they make a move.
If you're ready to learn about protecting your wealth and retirement with gold and silver, request your free gold guide from Augusta Precious Metals today.
Visit patriot.tv/gold. That's patriot.tv/gold today.
Stays on, red hat stays on, red hat stays on, red hat stays on.
Allie, when you hear that song, Red Hat Stays On, it's kind of like a nod to the fact that what we passionately stood for back in 2016 and obviously in 2024 on November 5th is not something that's going to just be Trump orientated. It's something that's deep inside of us as
It's a
America
movement.
First. It's a movement.
It is a
It's a movement. That's why you keep that red hat on or red lipstick, however you do it. Our next guest is just that. Listen, Bianca Gracia, she is dedicated to not only grassroots, but community development. She's a passionate political activist. So this is one of the reasons why we love her so much. She's a homeschooling mom, but she is also president for Latinos for Trump. She's the founder and executive director of Latinos for America First, the Trump 47 Committee, and the Trump Vance Inaugural Committee. Bianca is, I go through my social media page and I see just Bianca killing it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we got to get her on this show. Thank you so much, Bianca, for joining us here on Open Mic.
We can't hear you, babe. You're muted.
Sorry.
Nope, you're
There
good.
you go.
Good morning, ladies. I have muted my mic. I'll have to apologize because I'm a little raspy this morning. I've been working my little tail off, and so, yeah, doing a lot of traveling. I've been living in DC and actually really loving it. I didn't think I'd love the swamp, and I don't love the swamp, but I do love DC.
Yeah.
I feel that sentiment every time I go up there. I'm like, oh, I'm totally supposed to be here. I love being in DC. The history there is just incredible. So what has your experience been since you've been there?
So I got lots of little stories.
Yay!
We love the story.
So yeah, I love those stories your audience will appreciate. So it's been amazing now with Trump in office, obviously. First and foremost, one of the greatest things is driving around in a scooter and you don't have to see Black Lives Matter plastered all over the street right in front of the White House, right? So what a relief that was. You see a lot more people that are conservative, have been conservative, are walking around freedom, right?
Yes.
And less pressure to not speak out or feel comfortable about being conservative. Right. They're not in your face. I'm a Republican, but you can see the sense of the culture change in DC. Right. There's a little bit more of more happiness, real joy going on in DC. I live in a pretty quiet, I don't know, it's right on the edge of Georgetown. And so I live in a nicer area. There's a lot of nice areas around DC, but a Navy Yard and Southeast and some of the Northeast area of DC are, pretty bad crime-wise, right?
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of people just shot on the street and murdered, a lot of carjackings. Just a lot. The crime is a little out of control. One of the things that I see throughout DC is the mental health. So a lot of these homeless people, or the mental health people, and they're probably homeless because they walk around. They walk around the street, and it's really sad. It is, as Trump says, it is a humanitarian issue. Yeah. They walk along the street, y'all, and they're talking to themselves. They're yelling. and they clearly need help. And it's sad to see a pop-up tent in a really nice part of the area, and there's a pop-up tent and there's a person that lives in the pop-up tent in the middle of the street, on a sidewalk, I mean. And, but yet when you walk by, you see the individual, I'm like, okay, where do they go bathe? Where do, they have hardly no things in the tent, but you see them on a cell phone. So as you're walking by, they have a cell phone. I'm like, how do you live in a tent and have a cell phone?
Yeah.
And how are you paying the bill of cell phone? Well, if y'all remember, Obama issued free cell phones. And I'm sure Biden was issuing free cell phones.
Yes.
How else do you get a cell phone? And so anyhow, it's really just, that's what's really disturbing, is because the city is extremely beautiful. So it has so much to offer, a lot of culture, a lot of history. There's so much to do in the city. There's always something going on. And so it's really sad. So I'm very glad I've seen that now that Trump has taken over for 30 days, called in the, National Guardsmen. And they're starting to clean up the streets. And he has said, we're going to, pretty much pick up all of the homeless people. We're going to put them in shelters, get them help, get them food, and get them off the street. And if they don't want to do that, if they don't want to go to a shelter, then they will go to jail, because that's what the law says. And so seeing this shift in the culture, you're seeing, people, it's like, you wonder, because these little social justice warriors that, you support the homelessness and you support these drug addicts and you support criminals. It's like it was a rhetoric for them. They didn't really believe it. They just said it because somebody told them to, or somebody paid them to. But they really, now it's like, hello, we're back to normal. And they're like, oh my gosh, it's normal.
And it's interesting because we just found out too, I think it was just posted today, that there's been 7 days with no homicides in DC. So how is it that you can have these leftists, and I don't even want to call them Democrats, they're more like socialist communists, that are protesting the ending of homicide? It is the first time in DC history, I believe, where there has been no homicides in 7 days because President Trump's strength. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it goes to show, it fully exposes the lies of the left, that there was no crime, or crime was down, or they didn't have any trouble or problems. I'm like, you have serious problems, and your leadership and your policies there's holes in them all over the place, and you're being exposed. And the residents know the difference. They know that now they can walk around and not fear that they're going to get mugged, robbed, carjacked, or even murdered on the street. So there is a sense of relief. And I'm glad that Trump did what he did. I certainly, I haven't felt ever that I've been in danger except one time. And I was parked. I'd gone to a fundraiser, and I was parked down a street. It's middle of the day. It's not a very bad area. And I'm walking down, and it's with my friend, and I see two Black individuals, kind of young, and they see us. We're dressed up, and I get this bad feeling. So I tell my friend, we're walking on the sidewalk, and we're parked on the other side of the street, but we're going to walk down the sidewalk and then cross over. I tell my friend, let's cross over now. So as we cross over the street, one of them stays on one side and the other one crosses the street. I said, this isn't good. So I told her, turn back now. She goes, what's happening? I said, turn back now. So we turn back, we walk back to the corner of the street, which is right over next. If we cross the street again, we're by the house where everybody's at. And so I turn back, and I'm in the corner, and I turn back, and the other individual still on the other side of the street. The other young guy goes, and he's looking at us. And so he just sits there, and he backs up and up against the car, as he's waiting. And I said, yeah, this isn't going to end well. So he saw us, we're two women, we're dressed up, and we have like little clutches. So of course they're going to try to mug us or whatever, right? Or hurt us. So I was like, okay, we have no protection in DC because you can't carry anything. So, so I'm like, okay, so I tell her, let's walk back into the house. And so sure enough, we walk back into the house and there's people there. So I look out the window and I wait and I wait and I wait. And finally, they figured we weren't coming back out. So they they walk past by the house, and they keep walking. And as soon as they walked, I told her and I said, okay, now it's safe to go. But this time I asked somebody from the house, I said, can y'all walk us to our car? And it was plain daylight. So that was about the only incident I had. But my husband's law enforcement. And so then I've traveled around the country with General Flynn. So you kind of always know when you're around
situational awareness. Right.
Awareness. You always have to be aware of your surroundings. Even if you are in a very nice neighborhood, even if you're wherever, you just have to be aware of your surroundings. You have to be quick to think and quick to react. And so that's really, where I think it was just that common sense that kicked in. And we obviously ended up being safe. But that's the only incident I've ever had. But I know that I've heard from many others that have been terrorized in DC. We had an intern that was murdered in Chinatown, which is not far from the White House, or from Capitol Hill, I mean. And so there's interns that have been, actually attacked. Not many, but there has been some that have been attacked going home. Right. So, the city was dangerous. So I'm really glad that Trump has taken this swift action. And that was much needed. And obviously the Democrats weren't going to do it. So I'm glad that our president has done what he needs to do to make the streets of DC safe again. And
let me ask you,
people are
Bianca.
now speaking out.
Yeah, let me ask you, because you're originally from Texas. So you go from a state where I'm sure you feel not only secure, but that you can protect yourself, into this little clump of Washington, D.C. What has this, how different has this been? And I do want to get your take on what's gone on in Texas with the congressional redistricting map, how you feel about that being a Texan.
So first and foremost, it is a very different environment, obviously from Texas to DC. I think for the first week, I was in a little shock. So I was like, oh my God, I just want to go back home. But after the week and just kind of embracing the city and the culture and the history and just everything, I got so used to it and I just began to love it. I just began to love it, because the difference between Texas is, in Texas, if you want to go somewhere, you have to get in your car and drive everywhere.
Right.
There's no, in DC, literally in my studio, I walk outside and there's 3 levels of security. We have security in the front desk. Good. You have to, there's security through the whole thing. There's cameras everywhere. So we have a very secure building. But when you walk outside, there's people walking everywhere. You don't have to get in a car. You can depending on where you're going, you can go by Uber. There's kind of like a couple blocks away from a metro station. So if I'm going further out, and I need to go somewhere and it's metro, say, somewhere that I can get by metro, I can go by metro. I do have a vehicle, so I can drive, but I don't really drive it often because I don't need to. And most of everything that I need is around me. So I can walk there within a block or so. Everything is around me. So I really have the best of all worlds. So I'm like, it's like a New York, but a smaller version of New York and cleaner than New York. So that's the best way I describe DC. That's what I love about it. So I get like a New York kind of, environment, but on a smaller scale. And so that's what I've adjusted very, very well. And I really love it. And that's what I love about it. It forces you to walk, right?
Yes.
So Texas, I mean, you got to go to a gym to do any exercise or go to a park or something. Because you got to drive over. There's no such thing as, hey, you walk outside your house and everybody's walking. So it's a whole different environment. It's
different
really
culture, everything. Yeah,
it is. And I love that you can walk around. You can pretty much find restaurants, and when there's nice weather, you can sit outside and you watch everybody walk. It's just an amazing place, as you all know.
So do you think that Governor Abbott is doing a good job with bringing the Democrats back to Texas to actually do their job? Right now, they've been derelict of duty. And so what do you think what kind of job do you think he's doing? And what do you think he could do better?
So I'm not a full supporter of Abbott anymore. Once you've kind of seen the reality of what you've been getting, you can't unsee it. And Abbott is one of those leaders that has been in office way too long. He's lost his way. He is not a conservative Republican. He is moderate at best. He's more moderate liberal, actually. And so the way that he runs Texas is he kind of goes where the wind blows. And so he's not done a very good job in Texas. I don't like that he went out, and this is a prime example, and we had this happening with the open border as well, but this was a perfect example here. The Democrats run in, he's like, we're going to arrest him, we're going to remove him from office, which he did none of. And he gave them 2 deadlines and did nothing. They were gone for 2 weeks, did nothing. They have, they gave them committee seats or whatever. They didn't take them off of their post at all. They let them get away with everything. And when they came back, they adjusted some of the maps. They adjusted them to appease the Democrats.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not a real good leader. Now, yesterday, they finally did come back, but because there was some negotiations with the Democrats, and unless you're really paying attention, do you really realize this map kind of changed a little, right? And so they were able to obviously pass it. And even with the Democrats were not going to vote for it, but they still got something out of it. And so it still passed. So we got new 5 Republican congressional seats in Texas. And so here we go. We just had Chip Roy announced today for Texas AG. We got Aaron Reitz running for AG. I really like Aaron, but I also like Chip. And Aaron comes from the Trump administration. He was appointed through the DOJ. He has worked both of these guys have worked for Kim Paxton.
Okay.
They both have been chief of staffs for Senator Cruz, and Aaron had gotten an appointment from Trump. So they're both staunch conservatives. So we have some others that have thrown their name. They're not worth it. They're not anybody who would fight for Texas. And so
what are your feelings on Doc Chambers, who has currently put his hat in the ring to run for governor of Texas against Abbott?
I love Doc. I think, he is a true patriot, conservative, America first, Texas first person. But in reality, you have to realize that you are running against someone who has $80 million plus in his bank account.
Right.
So Abbott controls the messaging. He controls the Secretary of State. And so how do you really remove him from office, right? How are you going to really remove him from office with that amount of money? And so, there's a lot of exposure going on right now with Abbott and company of the dirty deeds that he's been doing since he was Attorney General himself. Wow. He did take $1.4 million for Colony Ridge, for the development of Colony Ridge, which, if you know what Colony Ridge is, it's the illegal compound. So he did take money to look the other way and make sure that Colony Ridge was able to be developed, and it thrived under cartel. It was a cartel run community of 100,000 illegals. And that is what Abbott has supported. He has supported the open border. He would come out and say, oh, hey, I'm securing the border. And he spent billions of dollars securing a border, but it really wasn't secure. As you know, we had probably 20 million plus illegals entered through the state of Texas.
Wow. Well, we would love to see receipts on that if you have them, so that we could talk about it. We would love to have that be something that was like essentially like a whistleblow.
I wanted to ask you real quick. I know we've got about 4 more minutes here. I want to know, because you're New Life now that you're in DC, you have press credentials, and you've gotten inside, to see Caroline Leavitt. You've gotten right inside the inner workings there of the White House. So I just want to know, we've got just about 4 minutes here. Can you tell us some of what you've seen now that they're allowing, independent journalists as part of the press pool?
Yeah.
And any personal stories.
The real voices.
Like personal stories with Trump. Go ahead.
So that's been a real eye-opening experience. So having the credentials, you walk in, these people have been there, the legacy media has been there for years, and they all know each other. They're all friends. They hate Trump. They hate him. And so when I walked in, the first couple of times. They don't know who I am. So they didn't know, am I just another left-wing person like them? They didn't know who I was. And so they found out very quickly because I started to wear my Trump shoes. And they were like, he's wearing Trump shoes. So they found out very quickly where I stood.
Exactly.
Fascinating. I will tell you two stories real quick because I know I have 4 minutes. So the first one is Caroline Levitt is going to come to a press conference. So us that are not legacy media, we don't get a seat, right? Because those seats cost money. And so we have to stand in the aisle. And I've got like a little pole, and it's like, where I set my phone, and it has a little tripod at the bottom, not big, but it's a little tripod. So I'm sitting there and I put myself on the aisle, and I've got a good spot. So these like women, these like left-wing women coming, and they're like looking around. So now they don't like me because they know where I stand. So one of them turns around. She's like, you can't have a tripod in the aisle. And I'm like, where does it say that? Where are the rules? Because they didn't give me no rules. Nobody told me I can't have a tripod in the thing. So she's like, you just can't have a tripod. So I get my little, it's a selfie, stick that you kind of adjust. So I pull it up and I shut the little tripod and I stick it down. And I go, well, now it's just a stick. And they were so pissed.
Pure Latina fashion right there.
Yeah. And after that, they were like, oh shit. So like, shoot or whatever, right? Yep. So then there was another time where someone was like, you're sitting in my seat. I go, I'm sorry, is your name on here? They're like, no, but I've sat here. I've been here for 40 years. I said, well, I don't really care what you've been here for. I'm here now, and there's no name on it, and I'm going to sit here until I need it. So you can go find yourself another one. And they were livid. So my third story is, and this was the best thing, I prayed in that press room. I prayed in the press room when I would go in there, and I would ask the Lord that he convict these legacy media to start telling the truth, or to just shut and silence them if they can't tell the truth. So that was one of my prayer. But then we were in the Rose Garden because Trump was going to leave to, he was going, I can't remember anyway, but he was about to go to Marine One. So he's, it's open press. So we're standing in the Rose Garden kind of waiting for him. So he comes out and he's forever talking to the press because he doesn't have.
He loves it. Right.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, he's coming around the corner and I'm like, Mr. President, I didn't care to ask a question. I was like, I'm going to get his attention one way or another. And so I sat there and I'm like, Mr. President, Mr. President. So he looks at me, he thinks I'm going to ask a question. And I'm live and I'm like, oh my God, trying to like turn my camera. I'm like all crazy. And I'm just like, pointing, and he's like looking at me like, what is this crazy lady doing? So I'm pointing and I've got my white, nice Trump shoe on the lawn, right? I've got it, my beautiful white and gold Trump on the lawn. And he looks down and he's like, and he smiles and he goes, he dances a little dance.
Oh, I love it.
He fist pumps me, puts his hand out for a high five. And I just smack him down. And I smack him so hard, he goes, I got to watch out for you. And he keeps walking. And I was like, that was my best moment ever. I was like,
I love it.
So all the journalists are like, you got a high five from the president. You got a high five from the president. I was like, yeah, that's why I wore my Trump shoes, because I figured that's how I'd get his attention. So they're thinking this girl isn't even here reporting. I'm like, I'm a radio person.
Like, excuse me, Secret Service. We have a fangirl who's got press credentials. We need to remove her from the White House lawn.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, kick her off. No, but I'm on radio, so I don't, I go back and report what I'm seeing on radio.
Of course.
I love that.
But that is an incredible story. I mean, if you can't have these stories while you're out,
while you're working,
yes,
this
exactly.
is amazing. And you know what? Honestly, we should be celebrating the next 4 years. We really should. We're dug in to try to push the needle and move the needle, but we should also be enjoying. And that's what I love about you, Bianca. Whether you were on tour with General Flynn, I think the only woman with a bunch of older brothers when it's something like. But you always make the most of it, and I'm grateful for what you're doing. We need more time with you.
I know.
We got to have you back eventually. Will you come back and join us again?
Can you let everybody know where they can find you?
So you can follow us at latinosforamerica1st.org or .com. We're heading to Las Vegas this weekend. We'll be at El Dorado Cantina in Las Vegas. And we're bringing in the Speaker of the House of Arizona, who we helped elect. And then you can follow me personally on any social media page at Bianca for Texas. That's where you can find me, biancafortexas.com, or any social media, Bianca for Texas.
Thank you so much, Bianca, for joining us. God
Thank you.
bless you.
You're welcome. Have a great morning, ladies.
Thank you, sweetie. So exciting.
Firebrand.
True firebrand.
I know, I love it. All right, so we're going to do this read real quick, and then we'll continue with our show. So Liberty Cigars, a toast to American heritage. From the heart of Marietta, Georgia, comes a tribute to the spirit of liberty. Liberty Cigars, where history meets craftsmanship. Each cigar tells a story. The Founders Collection honors the visionaries who shaped a nation. The President's House Collection celebrates the leaders who steered it. And the Naval Series salutes the heroes who defended it. Handcrafted with precision, each blend mirrors the essence of its namesake, from the boldness of George Washington to the elegance of Thomas Jefferson. Indulge in a moment of reflection, light a Liberty cigar, and savor the legacy. Discover your story at libertycigars.com, because every great nation deserves a great cigar. Liberty Cigars, smoke the history, and make sure you use promo code OpenMic for 10% off your order. Guys, thank you so much.
And
we love Liberty Cigars. They are like the best.
There's probably somebody in your life, whether even if it's not you, whether it is a dad, a boyfriend, husband, somebody that probably enjoys a good cigar. You know, even even like our sometimes our elected representatives, you know, it's a nice gift.
It's a good thank you.
It's a good gift because at some point they're probably celebrating something, whether it's, you know, something that a bill they've passed or
something being
inaugurated, something. There's a reason to celebrate. Even if somebody's expecting a child, get your Liberty Cigars, libertycigars.com.
Like Ginger and Matt Gates.
Which,
that is a great idea.
And what is their son's name again?
Lucky.
Lucky. Maybe we need a Lucky cigar. That's so cute. It's so cute. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We're going to move past our commercial break because I just want to make sure that we get in what we've been talking about.
Yes.
So, Allie, I want to skip to this. You alluded to this yesterday.
I did.
And we did not have it queued up. We do now. You know, you sometimes wonder that when somebody is coming across the border illegally, maybe they're even illegal. I mean, it's criminal across the border, but you know what I mean?
Right.
They commit other crimes here. And you think, oh, that's happening in California. That's happening in New York. That's being harbored and happening in Illinois. And you would be right. But when states like California give CDL licenses to those that are also here criminally, illegally, and they can't even pass a basic vision test or acknowledge road signs, that's a problem in California. But when that person migrates to Florida, it now becomes your problem nationwide. And this happened on the roads here in the state of Florida, where they had an illegal here that did a U-turn. Think about this, on a 3-lane interstate. I think it's 2 or 3 lanes. U-turn, took out 3 passengers trailing behind them. I'm just going to warn you. It's a video, okay? But this happened, and we're going to talk about it. Take a look. Give a look at his reaction. We need to get out and see if they need attention? No. Okay, so.
Oh my God.
Yeah. They.
Oh my God. Didn't even care. Had no like emotional reaction at all.
Maybe was in shock. I'm in shock that he was driving an 18-wheeler because he was not, for one, not here legally. So how is he able to gain employment and a driver's license, and even especially a CDL license? Now, those of you who drive,
those are hard to get
nationwide. Do you understand? Yes.
You have to go through a class.
So his last name is Singh. He's an illegal alien truck driver who killed 3 Americans, obviously here in Florida. He failed the English language proficiency test,
answering 2 of 12 questions
and identifying only 1 of 4 traffic signs correctly. I'm hoping that was at least the stop sign. I don't know. This is,
Lord have mercy.
We pray for the family of those individuals that were killed.
Well, you have Governor DeSantis has taken to the news to talk about this as well. I believe they're sending Lieutenant Governor Jay Collins for extradition to get, I guess, whoever handed them their license. I think that's what's happening.
They're sending a former military bad, you know what?
Green
Jay
Beret.
Collins. What are you doing? Jay Collins knocks on your door and says, you're coming back to Florida because we got some answering to do. That's pretty exciting. That's pretty exciting. And, you know, good on somebody like Governor DeSantis to be able to, you know, It's like, we're not just going to let this go.
Right.
Yes, it's going to play out in the court of law and obviously the court of public opinion, but this is no different than going back to the establishment that continued to serve somebody alcohol after they kill somebody in a DUI. And that has happened, whether you like it or not. So
exactly.
this is
he should have
accountability.
never have been in the United States in the beginning. This is a crime that could have been prevented. These deaths
Absolutely.
could have been prevented 100%. And I'm glad that we have leadership here in Florida that are actually trying to take initiative here to hold these people accountable in California. We have the help of not just our governor, the blessing of our governor, but the blessing of our lieutenant governor, who's actually going to go hopefully get this done alongside with our Attorney General, James Uthmeyer. So we are blessed to be Floridians, and I'm so glad that so many even of our current administration is filled with Floridians. So I'm just, Florida is the tip of the spear of the nation, and I'm just excited to be here.
We're doing good, but I want to move to a bit of a tragic story. We wanted to make sure that you understand the grips of what has taken place under the Biden administration with the open border and why we are so strong, especially like here in Florida. You know, when you've got Alligator Alcatraz, where we're bringing in the illegals, also Deportation Depot, where you can get your one-way flight back to where you came from. This is why. It's not because Allie and I both sit here as, you know, people of Latina descent. Obviously, you just saw Bianca. We are not racist by any stretch of the imagination, but what we are is what we do believe in is a country of laws and borders. And this is a perfect reason why. Take a look at what took place in LA. This is a mother of three that they found deceased after missing in Los Angeles. The problem with this is that everybody has created, obviously, death and killing somebody is always a problem. But when people criminalize ICE, especially on the West Coast, people will take the bad stories you say about ICE and just run with it, hook, line, and sinker. This guy, her husband, said exactly that. They said ICE took her. ICE took the mother of three of his children. Then he's seen on security footage. Again, this is kind of graphic. Seen on security footage dragging something large behind him, which we now know to be her body. Take a look.
Troubling surveillance video shows suspected killer Josemar Cabrera passing his neighbor's ring as he pulls a large object wrapped in fabric.
Like some kind of a with something inside. Probably he had the body in there.
An unsettling conclusion for Mario Sanchez, the Lancaster neighbor who captured the footage, sharing what he knew about Cabrera and his 33-year-old wife, Shayla Gutierrez, who was found dead in the Angeles National Forest 3 days ago.
I never had any interaction with the husband.
We can bring it back.
We see.
So Cabrera is he's in Peru. The Peruvian consulate has said that there's no warrant for his arrest. That's why he's not being brought back here. I know that Lancaster area very well. That area I lived there for almost 2 years with my family. And I also know Los Angeles Forest very well. They think that things go into the Los Angeles Forest and don't come out. So he knew what he was doing by hiding that body. We hope and pray that that area is active. It's very conservative. There are a lot of former law enforcement, former military that retire there. We're hoping that we do have some conservative leadership there. I'm hoping that they will fight to get this person back. This is destroying the lives of their three children as well. So
right. So hopefully, let's just send some prayers up their way to hopefully that there's some exposure to this and that
we're going to have to bring something good out of this because I don't want to leave you guys on that sour note. So we have the Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears, who's in Virginia. We have a very strong, passionate woman in this. So what I love about this, Allie, is she has come out to bat for these boys that were being really just ridiculed for saying they don't want to have girls watching them change or have to share bathrooms with girls. This is in Virginia, guys.
Right. Loudoun County, of all places. You remember this in 22? This is what happened when there was a child that was raped, not just once, but twice. And they hid the same, they hid it. They tried to hide it under the rug. And then the kid got in trouble. Didn't get in trouble. Oh my gosh. Until the dad came to a school board meeting.
And they actually arrested the dad. But then you had the governor there really crack down. Winsome Sears, listen to her.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the insanity to stop. It is time for everyone to recognize what is settled truth. Girls are girls and boys are boys. I cannot believe that we are here today having to talk about these things that everybody understands as plain common sense. Here we are, we're talking about three young boys who have been punished because they were trying to do the noble thing and saying they were not comfortable having to undress in front of girls. Now, normally we would applaud that, would we not? And instead, this school system has decided they are going to use the parents' own tax money against them and punish these boys. And so now they are branded, these young men are branded with a label that no parent wants them to have as folks, as boys who have sexually harassed at their young age. Think about that. What are we supposed to do now? Well, I'll tell you what we can do. There are things called elections. And yeah.
So you don't think your school board is important? You don't think
tell me why.
You don't think your sheriff is important in the sense that you should vote for them or you should know something about them? These young boys are being labeled as sexual predators,
essentially. They sexually harass this girl. Like, this is crazy.
It's crazy.
This is why your representatives are more important in your local backyard than it is in Congress. When something passes in the federal administration part, right? You hear it or feel it about 2 to 3 years later.
Yes.
When it passes in your local backyard, you can feel it almost immediately. There is a reason why we say here, and General Flynn has said, local action equals national impact. Guys, the school board races are important. Your sheriffs are important. Your county commissioners are important. Your city council is important. Your library board. All of the local offices that you can vote for are extremely important. And you need to plug in to figure out who these people are, build those relationships so you can be an asset and push positive, good policy so that it affects the rest of your county, the rest of your state, before you can actually change policy on a federal level. If the swamp didn't get swampy because it just got there. It got there because they were implemented through your backyard.
Absolutely. Ooh, I love that, Allie. Guys, if you want more information on how you can get involved, there's 2 ways you can contact us. Contact at openmicladies.com, especially if you have a story you'd like for us to cover, and contact at thehollowalliance.com. That's our ability to get a little more politically active. We would love. And also let's
momsforamerica.us. Guys, we empower mothers to raise patriots by learning our Constitution and acting out what we believe. That is exactly what we do there. So
don't piss off the moms.
No.
Like, don't do it. Just don't.
It's
If
like
we
the worst
do,
place to be.
we never go away.
Yeah, California says don't poke the bear. We say don't poke the mama bear.
That's right, guys. That's it for us here on Open Mic. Again, we're so grateful that you joined us. Please tune in tomorrow for Friday. We've got a great show coming to you then. Until we see you, you guys make sure that you keep that mic open, stay unfiltered, stay unmuted. And of course, we'll see you here tomorrow. Take care.
Guess is high, inflation's up in the sky. Red hat stays on, red hat stays on. And I don't care how they look at me in the deepest heart of a blue city. Red hat stays on, red hat stays on. And I know when you smile, you like what you see. If you love America, you'll agree. Red hat stays on, red hat stays on.